Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of TarotCelebritea with your boy Ducky. Today we are going to be reading some cards for Jianci and Jianci. So first and foremost, I'm so sorry if I mispronounce their names. That is not my intention to disrespect them because I know they're beautiful and talented and amazing, just like we all are, you know. And secondly, I do want to let y'all know that these videos are for entertainment purposes. And why is that? That is because we do not have Jianci nor Jianci here to confirm nor deny that what I'm seeing in the cards, how I'm interpreting the cards, is resonating with them or is not resonating with them. That's not to say I'm not correct, but we just don't know for sure, right? So just remember to take these videos with a grain of salt. And without further ado, let's get started on their reading. Okay. So let's start with Jianci and Jianci's combined energy. Whenever they are together or talking, you know, with one another, what is that combined energy like? We got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Oh. With the Queen of Swords. Okay. I'm hearing truth bombs. Lots of truth. Truth bombs, man. High Priestess. Yeah. All right. So I feel like Jianci and Jianci's connection is a very honest one. You know, the Queen of Swords is a very eloquent speech when it comes to her. Wait, what did I say? Is a very eloquent queen when it comes to her speech. So you know, she's very honest. She communicates verbally in a very honest way. And because of that, there can be a little bit of a bitter taste in one's mouth, you know, a little bit of a sour aftertaste with this honest connection that they have between one another, because they do communicate openly and honestly with one another. But sometimes it can create a little bit of like, I'm noticing all these grapes, you know, grapes can be sweet, but you know, they can also spoil and be rotten, be a little bit, you know, nasty. So sometimes I don't think that the way that they communicate with one another is nasty, but they do talk about some of the not so great aspects about each other or about one another, and they're very honest about that. And because of that, there's a lot of self-growth here that happens between their connection. Whenever they are together, they learn a lot about themselves, because I feel like they're just very open and honest with one another, and it helps them reflect, you know, upon themselves whenever they're together, and it helps them understand each other, even if though sometimes it might not be very pleasant. Maybe what they're talking about might be a little bit nitty gritty, a little bit, you know, they could be like very fine things that not a lot of people want to discuss about when it comes to their own, um, whether it's like toxic behaviors or not so great behaviors or bad habits. But these two, they're open about talking about these things, and it helps them learn about each other and learn about themselves so much more and deepen their knowledge. So that is cool. Let's go on with Yangzi's thoughts on Tangency. Tangency. Gency? I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. I, I'm pronouncing his name the best I can. So when Yangzi thinks of Tangency, what does she think? What comes to her mind? What does she feel? We got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So sometimes Yangzi maybe feels that Tangency likes to rush through things. The Devil. Whoa. Huh. Okay. All right. Now Tangency, when he thinks of Yangzi, what comes to his mind? What does he think? What does he feel? We got the Eight of Cups. Big dreams. Big old dreamer. And the Eight of Wands. Ooh, two eights. Okay, let's start here. So, Ten Jianci, when he thinks of Yangzi, with eight coming up twice on as both of these cards, he thinks that Yangzi is infinitely going to keep on progressing towards her goals, towards her dreams. When he thinks of Yangzi, he thinks of someone who goes after their dreams, goes after, goes on an adventure, seeks out new things, especially whatever her heart desires. Tangency sees that, when he thinks of Yangzi, he thinks of someone who's very heartfelt. She's very driven by her emotions, and whatever she feels she can accomplish, she's going to work towards it until whether she accomplishes it or at least until she tries it. So I'm seeing that Tangency thinks Yangzi is just very motivated, self-reliant, a go-getter, and also a big dreamer. But the big dreams that she has, she's connected to them emotionally. She has a lot of feelings for them. They're not just like big dreams and goals that don't really have a lot of passion or depth or an emotional connection to them. He sees that Yangzi is very emotionally connected to her goals, to her dreams, and she's very much a go-getter. Um, Now, Yang Zi, when she thinks of Tangency, she thinks of someone who might sometimes rush to finish things. Maybe Tangency is a little bit impatient and sometimes he doesn't want to work on things to finely tune them. He would rather finish things and he doesn't really care if it's the best quality of work or the best quality as long as it's done. So there could be a sense of impatience here that Yangzi sees when she thinks of Tangency. And also she thinks that the devil can talk about vices. Sometimes she thinks that maybe he rushes through things because maybe he just wants to go out and celebrate, go out and party and have fun. Maybe there's some lustful tendencies here that Tangency has that Yangzi thinks of when she thinks of him. Um, you know, the devil also can talk about tied bonds. So although she does think that maybe sometimes he rushes through works or he rushes through things just to get them done. So maybe he can go out for a smoke break or go out for drinks or celebrate. She also does see that there is also a good connection here, like a lifelong connection. They're tethered here. Um, they have a bond. And I think the reason why they're so tightly bonded is because they communicate honestly and openly, and maybe sometimes she is the one who gives him the information that might leave a little sour or bitter taste in his mouth. But then afterwards, Tan Jansi is understands himself better or acknowledges and recognizes his tendencies or his habits. And it's based off of, I'm getting the sense of Yangzi is the one who kind of openly communicates her thoughts and her concerns about maybe his habits, his bad habits or his not so great habits. And she helps him kind of see, like, hey, you're kind of, you need to be a little bit more detail oriented. Don't be trying to finish things off without, fine tuning the details or really seeing things thoroughly and making sure it's completed to the best ability. So that's what I'm seeing here. Now let's get some advice for the two of them for their combined connection. Let's get some good old ducky advice. Not that they're obligated to take it or anything, or that they even will see this video, but you never know. Um, Here in the Ducky channel, we're all about acknowledging your challenges, but then focusing on the solutions. We got the Three of Swords in reverse. As an advice card, continue healing. The two of them talk about a lot of deep subjects. Two of Cups in reverse. Ooh. For anyone who's maybe thinking, like, are they in a relationship or would they be good in a relationship? Um, with that Two of Cups coming up in reverse, I think I don't really see it happening for them. Head card came in reverse, so out of balance. We have a tendency to be rigid or irrational. We have imperfect perception. There's a connectedness here. All right, so the advice that I see here, especially with this card coming in reverse, so I would say it's out of balance. We have a tendency to be rigid or irrational. We have imperfect perception. So for the advice here between the two of them, again, because they do talk about deep, thoughts and concerns with one another, which help them level up and improve and get to know themselves more. The advice I'm seeing here is to be careful to not be irrational. Um, the two of them, with this Two of Cups in reverse, the two of them kind of, I get the sense it's like oil and water, especially with this coming out in reverse. The advice for them is to continue seeing the other person's perspective and whether they agree with it, at least acknowledging it, um, but like not being irrational or not being, rigid here. Um, to continue seeing each other's perspectives and to continue healing because there is a lot of healing that is involved here with this connection. They help each other heal, they help each other, acknowledge um, their own individual tendencies. They help each other just be more aware of their themselves and their actions, whether it's their negative vices or negative habits. Um, but they really do help each other talk about things that sometimes people are afraid to talk about, even in relationships. Sometimes some partners are afraid to talk about some of the deeper, heavier topics. So the advice I'm seeing for them here is to continue healing, using this connection for them to heal, but to know that there's just a lot of differences between them, and they need to be okay with uh, seeing the other person's perspective and not being overly rigid or irrational or overly critical. Because again, this Queen of Swords, although she communicates openly and honestly and she verbalizes her thoughts, sometimes this same exact queen with those beautiful habits or beautiful strengths, they can easily be a little bit overly critical and harsh of other people's actions and morals. So the advice I'm seeing here for them is to be aware of not getting to that place and to just whenever they're disagreeing or they see different viewpoints, to not let their feelings get so hurt that they will be rigid or say or do something irrational, because they're helping each other heal. And so sometimes they got to be aware that some of these topics are going to be a little bit, they can be a little bit triggering. It would be the word I'm looking for. And so they just got to be careful to, whenever they are triggered or they feel triggered, to not lash out or be rigid to where they feel judged or they have the other party feel judged. But I don't know. I don't really see an emotional or like a romantically emotional connection here. Um, I just see this as like two people that really help each other keep on learning more about themselves so they can continue advancing towards their goals, towards their dreams, and being more aware of their not so great habits, their negative tendencies. So that's what I'm seeing for this video. Let me know what you thought of it, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, what you know about Yangtze or Ten Jianci. Yeah. And again, I'm so sorry for mispronouncing Tan's name. I tried Googling how to pronounce his name and I couldn't find a good one. So I'm so sorry. And anyway, remember to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and sexually. Love and respect yourselves and others, and stay hydrated. Thanks so much for watching and requesting this video, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Bye.